3 red cards, 2 goals, 1 historic night. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 FIFA World Cup has arrived, and Mexico just threw the most dramatic party the Azteca has ever seen. This is the full breakdown of Mexico versus South Africa, the match that kicked off the biggest World Cup in football history. Stay till the end, because this match had everything. Before a single ball was kicked, the Estadio Azteca was already electric. Over 80,000 fans packed into one of football's most iconic stadiums. The same ground that witnessed Maradona's hand of God. The same turf where legends were made. And tonight, 40 years after the World Cup last came to Mexico, the co-hosts were ready to make history again. The opening ceremony featured Shakira and Burna Boy performing live on the pitch. Former World Cup greats like Roberto Baggio were in the stands. FIFA President Gianni Infantino was watching. The whole world had its eyes on Mexico City. And Mexico's players, they felt every single bit of that pressure. Minute 9, Mexico are already on the attack, pressing high, feeding off the Azteca energy. Roberto Alvarado drives forward. There's Julian Quinones making a dart into the box. And bang, he slams it home. 1-0 Mexico. The Azteca erupts. Now here's what makes this moment special. Quinones is Colombian-born. When he first represented Mexico in 2023, he faced serious criticism. Fans questioned whether he truly belonged in the green shirt. But in the biggest game of Mexico's recent history, on the biggest stage, it was Quinones who delivered. That goal? It didn't just open the scoring, it silenced every single critic. Manager Javier Aguirre would later admit that nerves had affected several players early on, but Quinones channeled that pressure into pure quality. A genuinely iconic moment for a player who had everything to prove. At halftime, Mexico won, South Africa 0, and the stats told the full story. Mexico had 55% possession. They were dominant in every area of the pitch. South Africa managed just 1 shot on target in the entire first half. Bafana had come here with a plan. Defend deep, stay compact, nick something on the counter. But the Azteca crowd was just too much. The noise, the pressure, the occasion, it overwhelmed them. 1 yellow card each, and Quinones had even hit the post just before the break. Mexico were good. But the real drama, that was all coming in the second half. Minute 50, Brian Gutierrez breaks through on goal for Mexico. He's clean through. And Spefalo Saitholi brings him down on the edge of the box. Brazilian referee Wilton Sampaio doesn't hesitate. Straight red card. Denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity. South Africa are down to 10 men. No protests. Even the South African players knew that was the correct call. From this moment, the game was effectively over. But somehow, it was about to get even more chaotic. Minute 67. Alvarado whips in a cross from the right, and there's Raul Jimenez, rising above everyone, heading it powerfully into the net. 2 NIL Mexico. But this isn't just any goal. This is a moment. Raul Jimenez is 33 years old. He's been one of Mexico's greatest strikers for over a decade. He survived a life-threatening skull fracture in 2020 that nearly ended his career. He came back, he fought, he kept representing his country. And in all those years, through all those World Cup campaigns, he had never scored a World Cup goal until tonight. Until this header at the Azteca, in front of 80,000 of his own people. Watch the replay and look at his face after that goal. That is not just celebration. That is relief. That is redemption. That is what football is all about. And then, just when you thought it couldn't get more dramatic, VAR steps in. Substitute Themba Zwane catches Roberto Alvarado in the face with a raised arm. The on-field referee misses it completely. VAR reviews it, and out comes the second red card for South Africa. Zwane is gone. Bafana are now down to 9 men. 9 in a World Cup match. But Mexico weren't done giving red cards away either. Deep into added time, Cesar Montes brings down a South African attacker to deny a breakaway. 3rd red card of the night. Mexico finished with 10 men too. Final tally, 3 red cards. More dismissals than goals in the World Cup opener. The last time 3 straight Reds were shown in a World Cup game, South Africa were also involved, back in 1998 against Denmark. History repeating itself for Bafana Bafana. So what does this result mean? For Mexico, it's perfect. 3 points at home, clean sheet, and they go top of Group A immediately. Their next game is against South Korea on June 18th. And with this momentum and home support, they'll be heavy favorites to qualify early. Manager Javier Aguirre has built a team that's direct, physical, and feeds off the Azteca crowd. Quinones looks like a breakout star of this tournament, and Jimenez, emotional and experienced, could be the veteran leader Mexico need in the knockout rounds. For South Africa, this is damage control territory now. They face Czechia next on June 18th in Atlanta. They must win that game. But they'll be without Sithole and Zwan, both suspended. Playing 9 men for 40 minutes against a World Cup co-host showed real character, but it simply wasn't enough. Bafana Bafana's World Cup dream is already hanging by a thread after just 1 game.